What's up, y'all? Welcome back to my channel. I know it has been forever since y'all have seen me do any type of tutorial, makeup video, anything like that. I've been gone for a while, but I am back. Basically, I wanted to come in here and show you guys this makeup look, my updated everyday makeup routine. This is the look that I go for pretty much when I do my makeup most of the time. That's why I say it's my everyday look, because this is really what I usually do. Something very simple, a wing and some lashes, and I'm good. But I want to show y'all the steps on how I achieve this look in case you are wanting to get the same outcome. I'm going to be showing you guys all the products that I use, the steps that I take, the primers, the concealers, the foundations, the skin prep, to make sure everything is flawless. I'm going to be showing y'all all that. So if you want to know the details and the secrets and how to get this look, go ahead and stay tuned. So without further ado, let's just go ahead and get right into this tutorial, y'all. Let's go. Alright, so for this look, since this is my everyday makeup look, like this is what I would go straight to when I'm deciding on a makeup look, I'm going to show you guys all the steps and the products that I use for my everyday look. So what I start out with is a fresh, clean face. Make sure your face is freshly washed. I like to moisturize with this Pond's moisturizer. I've been using this for like 2 weeks now, and I really love how it makes my skin feel. It makes it feel just so moisturized. For a while, I struggled with like my makeup. I would put it on and it would just look so dry. And it was because I wasn't using good moisturizing products. Sometimes I didn't even moisturize my face because I'm a little oily. I used to think that I didn't need to do that, but yeah, make sure you are moisturizing. This stuff just gives me such a pretty glow. Like, that's what I love. And you see, looking very much moisturized. By the way, I like to do my brows first simply because brows just take forever for me, and I mean, we all know how to do brows. I'll make a video showing y'all exactly how I do them, but for today, I went ahead and skipped straight to getting into the actual makeup. So for primer, I'm going to be using the e.l.f. Power Grip Primer. I also just recently started using this, and it's been a game changer in my makeup. I don't know what took me so long to even hop on the trend of the Power Grip, but I don't think I'll ever go back to using any other primer. Like, I just love how it feels going on. I love how it literally makes that makeup stick, okay? That's what you want. You want to make it to last. I do 3 layers of primer. I'm gonna show y'all my little trick. Because I do my pores on my face is like really bad. So I not only use the Power Grip Primer, but I also like to use the Poreless Face Primer by e.l.f. as well. I use a little bit of that after I use the Power Grip. I'm gonna show y'all what I do. I use like the tiniest amount, and I put it in my areas where my pores are really bad to blur that out. This is just my theory. I feel like when I use the Power Grip and then I go in with this primer, the pore primer, I feel like the Power Grip makes this really latch onto my skin and like blur out those pores. Okay. Then I'm going back in with one last layer of the Power Grip, but I'm only going to use a little bit, like a half of a pump, not even a full pump. And we're going to put that on top of that pore primer. It seems like a lot, but trust me, this works. If you have combination skin like me, and you have pores that are out of this world, I'm telling you, do these steps and your makeup will look flawless when you're done, okay? So that's what you would look like when you're done priming. And after that, I set it with some setting spray. Some Dewy Matte setting sprays from NYX. And this is how I prep my skin for the makeup, okay? Don't skip these steps, I'm telling you. I used to be that girl that used to skip my steps, the essential steps that matter to making your makeup look good. But now I take my time in prepping my skin because you need it. To be adding all these products, you're gonna look cakey if you don't. So make sure you are prepping your skin so you can have a flawless application, okay? While all of that is drying down, I'm gonna go ahead and start on my eyes. Now, again, I said this is a very neutral look. This is my everyday look, so I'm not gonna be doing anything crazy. I'm gonna be using the Beats by Deb in the Buff palette, and I'm gonna be using the shade Bare and Nutty, which are these two colors right here. As you can see, this palette is used. Okay, I use it all the time. Your lids are usually a little bit darker than the rest of your face for the most part, so I just like to go back in with a fluffy brush, dip into these two colors, kind of just mixing them up, and just start putting them on my lids. I like to start like on my lid and then kind of start to buff it out around the edges. Something very simple. And even though you're adding a shadow, it's still going to look extremely natural when you're all done. It's not even gonna really look like you're wearing too much, and that's really what I like to go for when I'm doing my everyday makeup. I don't want to look like I just tried to put on a full face of makeup. I like to look effortless. So yeah. Okay, so for like my brow bone area, again, I don't want to do too much, but I do like to put a shadow that kind of matches how light it is up there, just to kind of set that concealer from when I did my eyebrows. So I like to go in with the color Creamy, Flesh, and Desert Sand. I like to kind of mix those three and get like the perfect brow bone shade. And I'm gonna just lightly tap. That's it. And I kind of like to bring it down in the inner corners a little bit and just buff it all together. It just gives me like a effortless look. Like, it just blends so good. Alright, so the next thing that I do in my everyday makeup routine, after I do my eyes, I'm going to go in with some e.l.f. I'm using a lot of e.l.f. products. I love e.l.f. I'm going to go in with some e.l.f. liquid liner. It's this one right here. It's just in the regular color black, and I'm going to do a light wing. Nothing too crazy, nothing too big and dramatic, just some kind of wing. I like to bring out my eyes a lot because they are you know, pretty small, so a wing has always been my go-to. If you know me in real life, if you follow my makeup, wing has always been my thing. So I gotta be quiet while I do this. I can't talk. So my eyeliner is done. Now, I would usually, back in the day, I would go right into putting on some lashes, but it just makes it a little bit too complicated for me to like blend my concealer and my foundation and everything that I need to do. They get in the way. So I like to wait until I'm done with all of that and then go add my lashes. So I will be adding lashes, just not right now. Next, we're gonna move into the face, okay? So the first thing I'm gonna put on is my Maybelline Fit Me Dewy Smooth Normal to Dry foundation. I am using the color 210, and we're gonna just start applying, okay? I'm gonna use a foundation brush first. I got these off of Amazon. They're nothing too fancy or anything, but they work. They're called BS Mall by company BS Mall. And I'm gonna use the foundation brush first, and then I'm gonna go in with a beauty sponge to just smooth everything out, because I don't know, that's just what works for me. So I just dab it on here. And I don't know how it's looking on camera, but in person, it's like a perfect match once I start actually blending away. Now for this look, I like medium, light to medium coverage. I don't really need it to be super full coverage. So you might notice in this video it doesn't look too full coverage by the time I'm done applying everything, but that's okay. I like the dewy look. I like the not so full coverage look. I like the effortless look. That's like my new thing to say. Don't worry about how it looks now. I'm going to blend it out more with the beauty sponge. I don't directly apply anything to my forehead just because I don't like how stuff be sitting on my forehead. Maybe it's like from the hair products or whatever, but I like to just use whatever's left over on the brush. Like literally whatever's left over. I don't dip into the foundation and put it on my forehead because it just never looks blended enough for me. Like you see that? You can kind of see the color of the rest of my forehead here because my edges, and then foundation. We're gonna fix that with the sponge, okay? We have enough on. These are Beats by Deb sponges, makeup sponges. They feel so soft. They almost feel as soft as the beauty blender. I feel like nothing in the world is as soft as the beauty blender, but these are literally so close. And we're gonna use this to blend everything out that we just did. And because I'm only using, you know, the excess that was on the brush and I'm just blending away with the sponge, I can actually go over my baby hair and blend, and my baby hair is not going to look like it's caked up with makeup at all. This is what works for me. So if it don't work for you, please don't come for me, but this is what works for me. Now we're going to go in with some Tarte concealer. This is in the shade 22N. This is the Ultra Creamy Concealer. And I'm going to go ahead and start getting these under eyes concealed. And I'll put a little bit under my chin. And then maybe like a little tiny bit on my nose. And that's it. Now what I like to do before I start blending it out is I will set it with some setting spray. This just helps give more coverage under the eye. It helps, you know, just let it dry down a little bit more, to set a little bit more, so that when you start to blend it out, it's not just going away. It's kind of, you know, more coverage. And I like to start blending my chin out before I get under my eyes. Just because, again, I like for that to set a little bit more so that I have more coverage under my eyes. And when I do my chin, I kind of drag this over. I like to drag it over to like my cheeks area, my bottom cheek, my jaw. And I'll go ahead and do my nose. Mind you, I'm using the same sponge I used when I did my foundation. I don't switch between different sponges and none of that extra. This just works for me. Now I'm gonna go ahead and start with blending out my concealer under my eyes. So I look down. And just be careful not to get it on your wing liner, because then it's gonna look gray. You see how like snatched out looks, that's what I like. That's the look I be going for. I love this concealer. It's my favorite concealer. And letting it set gives you so much more coverage. I'm telling you, don't immediately go in and blend it out as soon as you lay it down. Blend out some other stuff in your face first and then go back to your under eyes. I'm telling you, it'll make a world of difference, okay? And I put this on my nose as well because we will be contouring our nose, so let's go keep the nose. Now, immediately, we're gonna set with some setting powder. I'm using the Laura Mercier setting powders in translucent. I'm almost out of the big one, so now I'm having to dip into my little samples. Now to set my under eyes, I like to go in with the powder puff and dip it right into that powder. This is about how much I'm going to be using, okay? About that much. And as I'm putting it on, I'm also going to be blending it out. I'm not going to bake. Oh my god, it's so pretty. I'm not going to bake or anything. I'm going to just continue to pat it until it's blended, until you see that full coverage. You see? I feel like powder puffs are a game changer. Like, I don't know what took so long for me to start using them, but they definitely do what they need to do. I'm just lightly setting where I have that concealer, and then I like to do, like with the excess, I'm not dipping into no more powder, but with whatever's left, I like to get my forehead. Now I'm going to go in with my e.l.f. contour palette, and I like to mix these two colors down here to get my contour shade. I'm going to go in with a Morphe brush. It's like a little angled fluffy brush, and I use this to go ahead and contour. This is just going to be bringing back some color into my face, give me a little bit more dimension, make those cheekbones look extra high. I'm going to shrink this. I do got a forehead on me, as you can see. I got a big one. So I never not get my forehead. I always have to, unless I have like a bang or something. But then I like to get my jaw. This is gonna help give you that chiseled look, make you look snatched from the side, you know. Since I lost weight, I don't really have like that double chin problem like I used to have, but still. With the same brush that I use for my eyeshadow, I'm going to use that to contour my nose, and I'm going to still be using the same contour palette and mixing those two shades together. We're going to start contouring this nose. I like to start up here on the brows and blend it into my brows first. Bring it down right here. So I do my two lines, then I do one going over. A guide to know where to put your line that's going over is to move your nose up like this, and wherever that crease is at, that's where you'll put that line at. Then I take some and I go underneath my nose. But not like all around the nostrils, just really mainly in the front, like where the tip is. You just get that area. Then for like the reverse contouring effect on my nose, I'm going to be using the two lighter shades in this palette. And I'm going to use that to go down the bridge of my nose. Then I'm going to put a little bit on the tip of my nose. And then on the sides. So after I do that, then I like to go in and use a fluffy brush to pretty much just blend everything together on my nose. Because right now it's looking a little bit harsh. We don't want that. So if you go in with a fluffy brush, something to blend, you can get rid of that harshness. And there there's your nose. So now I'm gonna go in with some blush, just a little bit. I like blush, you know, on the apples of my cheeks and on my nose. So I'm gonna be using this Wet n Wild blush in the color Bed of Roses. And I'm gonna take that same fluffy brush that I just used to blend out my nose, and I'm going to just dab in here like that. Not too much. I don't want to be looking like no clown or nothing, but just to add a little bit of rosiness to my cheeks. And then I like to dab some on my nose. And that's literally it, okay? So I don't go anything past that. Now I'm gonna hurry up and set this. This is where I would go ahead and add my lashes. Now that everything is done, I don't have to blend anything, nothing's gonna be in the way. I can go ahead and start adding my lashes. The lashes that I'm going to be using are lashes from my brand. Here they are. And I'm going to just use some Kiss Blue. I like to add it on my lash line. That's it. I like to go in with some Better Than Sex mascara to blend in my lashes to the strips. Now for the lips, my favorite lip combo is very basic. I like to do the simple lip liner and gloss combo, and that's it. So what I'm going to be doing is using my little, as I can see, is used my brown lip liner from the hair store. This is in the color I don't even know because I've been sharpening it so much, but it's just like a little medium brown liner. A dollar little pencil, and I'm gonna go ahead and line my lips real quick. And I'm gonna be using this Ulta lip oil as like my gloss. It's not just a lip oil. To me, this feels like an actual lip gloss. It has that thickness like a MAC lip gloss. If you've used the MAC lip gloss or any high-end lip gloss like a Fenty, you know that thickness that I'm talking about. This is how this feels, and I love it. And it shines like some lip gloss. So this is pretty much the finished product. Once I'm done, this is how I end up looking. This is my everyday makeup look. Let me know how y'all like it. If you're new here, make sure you like, comment, and subscribe on the video so you can see more uploads. If you liked the video, let me know what you thought. Thank y'all so much for joining. Thank y'all so much for staying tuned. If you made it this far, you a real one. And I will see y'all on the next video. Bye.